How you doing, YouTube? It's everyone's favorite time of the show, our Ukraine update. And you know, Bakhmut. Can we talk about Bakhmut? We should have left. They should have gotten out of there. They should have gotten out of there. I do not understand the double down strategy on Bakhmut. I get it. They're making a mistake. Hurt them. But man, why do you have to wait until the last motherfucking millisecond? Why do you have to wait for these guys to be under fire, you know, from close range Russian positions? Why do we wait to the last fucking second to do that? Why did they do that in Mariupol? When all those or Avastol, the Avastol steelworks waited to the last second, and then just a bunch of people got caught up. I understand it's war. I understand it's not perfect, but man, it's like we could see this encirclement being a success. That is true, Davey. Avastol, thank you, Kim Goblin. That is true. Wagner pushed as hard as it could fucking push and got it's halfway into Bakhmut, maybe even closer. At great cost to themselves, but it does seem like it's just inexhaustible. You know, there were diaries, you know, from like Nazi commanders when they were invading Russia, talking about how it's just never ending. It's a never-ending stream of people and a never-ending stream of resources, and it just never stops. And I feel that. It's like Russia doesn't want to win with quality. They'll just dump a bunch of garbage into your country until you acquiesce. Here we go. Let's get to our first story here. Hot news coming straight off the fucking presses because of your boy Davey. Thank you so much, Davey, for the link. But we got an update from our orange commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, who's going to give us an important update here. Let's get his screen correct. Producer, can we get his screen correct? Thank you. I want to make sure that the big man is presented properly. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and hear what the big man has to say. This pertains to the NATO and Ukraine. Let's see here.
State Department, the defense bureaucracy, the intelligence services, and all of the rest need to be completely overhauled and reconstituted to fire the deep staters and put America first. We have to put America first.
Someone please tell me what that fucking means.
Finally, we have to finish the process.
This guy is more tan than the bottle. You know, the bottle, it'll be like, you know, he's darker than the bottle.
We began under my administration of fundamentally reevaluating NATO's purpose and NATO's mission.
This guy is a gift to Putin. Did Putin write this?
Foreign policy establishment keeps trying to pull the world into conflict with a nuclear-armed Russia based on the lie that Russia represents our greatest threat. But the greatest threat to Western civilization today is not Russia. It's probably, more than anything else, ourselves and some of the horrible USA-hating people that represent us at home.
Yeah, no, you know, Joe Biden hates the United States so much, he organized a violent mob to invade the Capitol on the day, you know. That's how much Joe Biden hates America. He tried to violently overthrow, you know, hundreds of, you know, well over 100 years of democratic precedent. It doesn't matter. You know, the definition of, you know, America first, none of it matters, because all it is nebulous feel good language, right? And they get to fill in the blank because America first is actually what he means by America first is Trump first. Trump first, Trump's, you know, whatever Trump wants, Trump first. If this guy gets into office again, it's over, dude. I mean, it's over. He will do everything from day one. Trump will do everything from day fucking one. Second one, he will start corrupting the electoral system so that he will be president forever. On day one. Yeah, I know. So many threats to democracy, so little time. Ukraine planning counteroffensive with new weapons. This was from a day ago. So we keep hearing about this counteroffensive. Let's get a little update on it. I think we'll cut it off at this analyst, but we'll get the first couple minutes here. Running out of time.
Forces continue to hold off a months-long attempt by Russia to take the eastern city of Bakhmut. Kyiv is now signaling that it is gearing up to launch a counteroffensive. Now, many are pinning their hopes on new Western weapons, including German-made Leopard tanks due to arrive soon. The new hardware could help Ukraine break the stalemate in many areas and take back a lot more territory.
Exactly.
Russian artillery fires on Bakhmut after months of attempts to take the city. Ukraine has forced its enemy to commit major resources and take tens of thousands of casualties. The Ukrainian military says it's buying time for a spring counteroffensive. Part of the preparations for that counteroffensive are happening far from the front lines. In Spain, Ukrainian troops are finishing their training on advanced Western tanks. They hope the Leopards will be a game changer on the battlefield.
I didn't notice
Until
that.
now, Ukraine has been using older Russian model tanks. Ukrainian troops are getting training
Ooh,
from
look at
NATO
that.
forces elsewhere too, like here in the UK.
What the hell is it? Hey, any military hardware experts in the chat want to tell me what the hell this is for? It's got like a scoop up front. Is this to clear the road and get shit out of the way? What the hell's going on with this? Is this like a bridge? Is this a deployable bridge?
From NATO forces elsewhere too, like here in the UK. Learning the art of combined arms warfare.
No, what the hell is that? I don't even know what the hell this is.
How to coordinate all the high-tech weaponry
It's not a bridge.
with infantry assaults. On the front, a tank commander has high expectations. The concept and tactics of tank usage in battle will significantly change because Western tanks have a higher firing range and other capabilities like a digital information field. If this equipment is used properly, one can destroy the enemy before the enemy approaches its firing range. Analysts say Ukraine will likely mount a major attack in Zaporizhia province, aiming at the Russian-held
I love
city
the
of
James
Melitopol.
simulators
A
on
successful
PC.
push would cut through Russia's supply lines to its forces further west. There are factors like weather that can only be guessed at, not controlled. Spring mud can slow or stop tank advances, bogging down the Russians and Ukrainians alike. That means the timing and the target of any counteroffensive are still a mystery, which is just the way
Needs to be.
Ukrainian commanders want it.
Needs to be.
Well, I'm joined now.
All right. So unfortunately, we don't have time for this analyst's analyzation of the situation. I think I watched about half of it. I don't recall anything major about it, but you're welcome to watch it. It's right there. We got to keep moving on though. Hunting rifles, really? China ships assault weapons and body armor to Russia. So here we go, folks. You know, there's a serious discussion happening. Okay, is it time for NATO troops? Is it time for U.S. funded boots to hit the ground? And here we see the escalation coming from China here. Chinese companies, including one connected to the government in Beijing, have sent Russian entities 1,000. Wow. Whoa. 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 1,000 assault rifles and other equipment that could be used for military purposes, including drone parts and body armor, according to trade and customs data obtained by Politico. Wow, 1,000 rifles. The shipments, I'm sure it's more than that, but it's nothing. It's nothing compared to the aid that we're giving to Ukraine. The shipments took place between June and December, according to the data provided by Import Genius, a customs data aggregator. Wow, what a niche. China North Industries Group Corporation Limited, one of the country's largest state-owned defense contractors, sent the rifles in June 2022 to a Russian company called Techrim that also does business with the Russian state and military. The CQA rifles, modeled off of the M16, but tagged as civilian hunting rifles in the data, have been reported to be in use by parliamentary police, paramilitary police in China, and by armed forces from the Philippines to South Sudan and Paraguay. I think that vehicle was a Vickers Challenge Armored Repair and Recovery Vehicle. Okay, that would make sense. So it's a mobile fucking repair unit? Oh, dude, my war boner. Oh, that hurts. Oh. That's awesome. That's so cool. That's so cool. Russian entities, I'm thinking about how cool that thing is. Russian entities also received 12 shipments of drone parts by Chinese companies and over 12 tons of Chinese body armor routed via Turkey in late 22, according to the data. And boy, do they need it. You know, as we've seen some of this body armor, cardboard, paintball armor being given to these poor guys sometimes. Although the customs data does not show that Beijing is selling a large amount of weapons to Moscow specifically to aid its war effort, it reveals that China is supplying Russian companies with previously unreported dual-use equipment, commercial items that could also be used in the battlefield in Ukraine. Well, of course. Picture with the little thing sticking out. Is the thing sticking out? Oh, the thing is so... Look, it's got the scoop. Yeah. What does this thing do? I want to see this thing in action. Like... That is so fucking cool, man. That is so cool. Mobile repair unit. And it is the first confirmation that China is sending rifles and body armor to Russian companies, and shows that drones and drone parts are still being sent despite promises from at least one company that said it would suspend business in Russia and Ukraine to ensure its products did not aid the war effort. Okay, I can't read this whole fucking thing, but you get the point. They're doing it. They're being sly and, you know, sneaky about it, but they're doing it. You know, they're sending some stuff. They're not sending the big shit, but, you know, because, like, China is playing a tightrope act here. They don't really support this effort, but they certainly support getting us cheap oil from Russia, right? They have this alliance that they can't just throw in the trash, so they got to placate Russia somehow. It's like, yeah, you know, we looked the other way when we sent those rifles and some of that body armor. According to Wikipedia, an unspecified number of crabs have been donated to Ukraine alongside a squadron of Challenger 2 tanks. Cool. More the merrier. Here we go. Man, when does Prigozhin slip off a fucking balcony? Did this guy talking about how he's going to be president of Ukraine, criticizing Putin, blaming the Russian army for his failures? This guy's going to be banana peel slipping off a motherfucking balcony any day now. He better stay away from hotel balconies, okay? He's going to be so far away from a hotel balcony. He'll still find a way to slip off one. Prigozhin directly accuses the Russian MOD, Ministry of Defense, of purposefully cutting ammo supplies in order to prevent Wagner from taking Bakhmut under any circumstances. I mean, if you play just about 45. Bring him over. Ammo supplies in order to prevent Wagner from taking Bakhmut under any circumstances because, quote, Soledar was enough. He revealed it in a heated interview published today. So we've already seen this. We've already seen how it's hilarious. It is some of the most bullshit, bitch-made shit I've ever seen in my life. They intentionally tell these PMCs, okay, no, hold it back, or like you haven't officially conquered or taken the city, because they wait for the Russian military to show up, and then the Russian military gets to take credit. It is the biggest bitch shit I've ever seen, dude. How do you run a military like that? No fucking way. No fucking way. All right, so let's get this video in. Let's watch this.
Сегодняшние наши действия, конечно, вызывают зависть, потому что целыми днями объявляются новые наступления, и куда-то они пропадают. Почему они пропадают, я знаю. Потому что нужно систему управления выстраивать руками, а не далекими указами. Вот. Поэтому, так как у нас есть успехи, в других местах эти успехи не те, которые хотелось бы, то вместо того, что, помните, как дедушка Ленин, да? Мы все думали, что все должны жить хорошо, да? А стали делать так, чтобы все жили одинаково, но плохо. И поэтому задача простая. ЧВК «Вагнер» ни в коем случае не должно взять Бахмут. Потому что в Солидаре уже наелись, вся страна поддерживала ЧВК «Вагнер», поэтому Бахмут ЧВК «Вагнер» брать не должно ни при каких условиях. естественно, снарядный голод – это основа того, что
Shell
ЧВК «Вагнер»
hunger?
не взяла Бахмут. Но ЧВК «Вагнер» все равно возьмет Бахмут. Мы все равно возьмем его. И возьмем принципиально не потому, что это хочется Пригожину, и не потому, что Пригожин сейчас имеет такие, извиняюсь, большие политические амбиции, что он обязательно должен взять Бахмут и этим пропиариться. Да мы, сука, должны доказать всему миру, что русские могут.
He's kind of right. He's kind of right though, because like he's lying. Of course, he's really interested with his own political ambitions and all that. But he's 100% correct that if Russia can't even secure Bakhmut, right, it's pretty fucking embarrassing. That is a good point.
Разница Бахмут, Угледар, Авдеевку или еще какую-нибудь хрень на Сватово-Кременной. Без разницы что, ну возьмите что-нибудь.
That's what this is about.
Поэтому я думаю, скорее всего, что снарядный город – это первая часть марлезонского балета. Ведь там дело не в снарядном голоде.
I'm pretty sure by shell hunger, he's talking about the Russian military not giving him enough ammo.
Дело в снарядном голоде, дело в отрезанных самолета-рейсах, дело вот в снятых этих военных телефонах, да, в котором я не могу никому позвонить, мне не может никто позвонить. Ну оставьте телефон.
They interrupted his communications abilities?
Знаете, о чем я говорю? И иногда звоните мне и говорите: Пригожин, ты мудак, и все, и кидайте трубку. Ну хотя бы так, ну зачем его обрезать-то? Какой смысл в этом? Для того, чтобы мой пилот взлетел на самолете и не мог предупредить средства ПВО, не надо меня сбивать, я лечу.
Wow.
Для чего обрезать? Детство в жопе.
Wow. I mean, it really shows you how delusional the Russian military brass is. I mean, they not only do they arrogantly think that they're winning and that they will eventually win, they're so confident in that they feel perfectly fine hobbling their own military effort, making them look bad so that they could, internally make one part of the military in Russia look better. That's how confident that they are that this will never, that they're just on top, they got everything in control, that they know what they're doing. Welcome back. Oh my God, Sticks. Yeah, maybe, Kem. Yeah.
Нельзя заниматься детством. Война – это очень серьезная работа. И поэтому нас режут по снарядам и по всему остальному, лишь бы мы ничего не делали, чтобы мы были все так же, как и остальные. А если я сейчас скажу спасибо отцы-основатели, спасибо вам за все, то это что? Это сарказм. Опять Пригожин в своей хамской манере протроллил уважаемых людей.
This is interesting, though, because you rarely get to see people like Prigozhin talk about their own public image and, getting into the weeds in the social media battle in terms of, what are my motivations and all that. You so rarely see people that are in Prigozhin's position openly talking about that, trying to fight against that narrative. Oh, I don't have political ambitions. I'm doing this, for the glory of Russia and all that. Yeah. Oh my God, Sticks. I'm saying Prigozhin's going to be banana peel slipping off a motherfucking balcony. I guarantee. Here, kiddo. No. Come here, big guy. Thank you. Big guy. How you doing? Doing a Ukraine update. We're talking about Prigozhin and Putin. Oh, by the way, talk about Putin. This kid is a little farter. I call him my little Putin. He's constantly pooting. If you're lucky, you might even hear one. Give us a little fart, Putin. Come on, buddy. Squeeze one out for your old dad. All right, moving on. Let's see here. This is a great video from your boy, Davey. Thank you once again, Davey, in the Discord there, looking out for me. Battle of Bakhmut. Thank you, Lenny. And thank you once again for your financial contributions. Battle of Bakhmut. So here's what it's looked like. So this was actually 2:00 in the morning today. This was put out. So let's get on in here. Let's take a look. Let's see here. quality sucks. I'm pretty sure if I reload this, I can get a better quality video. Chill out, bro. You gotta chill out, bro. Come on, give me better quality. Hey, fuck me. There they go. All right, so this is Bakhmut right here. Where's the? I wish this was time stamped a little bit. I guess this is the start of it. This is the Russian army up here. Wagner and the Russian army. Here goes Ukraine, doubling down, reinforcing. Yep, there was an attempt over here. Wow, these little balls represent troop movements. Reinforcing this line. That's right, this just happened recently, right? Russians had a big breakthrough up here, and they had to back off and reinforce that line up there. Man, okay, it's cutting it close, but you know what? This does not look... You know what this looks like to me? This looks like Ukraine being firmly in control of the situation. Maybe not firmly in control, but I think they have battlefield control. What would you say, Davey? Yeah, that, to me, that looks like battlefield control. Because what do we have the line here. I don't see a complete decimation. These are all strategic retreats. Yeah, this is them. They're not being annihilated. They're not being surrounded. They're hitting Wagner as hard as they can and the Russian military as hard as they can while pulling back, which is exactly what they should be doing. Right? Your enemy wants to throw corpse after corpse after corpse at you. Yeah, they'll lose the city before if they keep this up. Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable. But that was always the strategy, though. Ukraine has been using the strategy since the very beginning. You know, allowing Russia to take position. It's like, sure, take it, fine. You know, we'll hit you as hard as we can every step of the way. But yeah, sure, because you just have such an overwhelming amount of personnel. It's smarter for us to you know, fish you along, to kite you along, to use a gaming term. Ukrainian military says it welcomes idea of creating female combat unit. Yeah, no shit. Get out, hey, dickless dumbasses over there at the Ukrainian leadership. I don't mean to insult you over here, but get your head out of your ass and let these women join the fight. What are we even talking about? You guys are desperate for personnel, for motivated, talented, individuals that are willing to fight and die for your country. And you're saying no? Why? Because they got tits and a vagina? Are you fucking insane? As much as I support Ukraine, they got a long way to go when it comes to the corruption situation, and they're making some good progress with that. Zelensky's, you know, making some good progress with that. But they also got shit like this. Snap it up. I mean, how is this not a #1 priority? Like, seriously, like day 5, like, oh, by the way, we're still not letting females into our military for completely pointless and sexist reasons. Yeah, strike that one. We need all the people we can get. What are we even talking about? And they're having a debate about it. Welcome's idea of creating female combat unit. Yeah, oh my God, Sticks. I think there's some gray area there when it comes to female participation in the war, because we've already seen that. They don't allow women, but some brigades don't. They do allow women, but some brigades don't. All right, well, that's a little different. That's a little different. Still, though, it's, yeah, I hate to hear the corruption is like, wait a minute, your country's being invaded and you're still taking the time to steal money. It's you know, holy shit, right? Like, get your priorities straight. So this is just one of those things. I just want to push back on Ukraine a little bit here. I'm not a nationalist. I don't suck any flags, dick. So I just want to point this out, right? We can do better. A big guy. Oh, bud. Yeah, pretty girls, huh? Look at him. He's got his pacifier. Oh, he spit it out. Oh, little pacifier, dude. Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. He's so fucking cute. Okay. All right, moving on. Those stealing money never cared about the people who are dying right now. Clearly, every dollar needs to go to the war effort. I don't mean to sound like a warmonger, but bro, your fucking country's being invaded. Okay? Like old school 19th century style invasion. Okay? Total war economy. Kid, you stink. Smell like poop. Russia agrees to extend the Black Sea grain deal by 60 days only. So, further reinforcement that the Russia, the Russia Nazi Germany comparisons are not accurate. If Hitler had a nuke, he would have used it. And if Hitler had a choice in perpetuating a grain deal, he would, do everything he can to make everyone suffer. This is different. To me, this shows that Putin is only serious enough. He's only so serious about his, his desire to conquer, because he's still keeping this shit up.
Agreed to extend the Ukraine grain export deal following talks with the UN, but only for 60 days, half the term of the previous agreement.
Gotta love it.
The Grain Export Pact has helped to ease the global food crisis triggered by Russia's invasion of Ukraine last year. More than 24 million tons of grain have been exported under the deal. Let's go live now to Al Jazeera's Stephanie Decker, who's following developments for us in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. Steph, why is Moscow only willing to extend this deal for a further 60 days, and what's been the reaction to that there in Kyiv?
Well, Moscow's been complaining that the part of the deal that affects it is not being upheld, also concerning its exports, saying that sanctions apply to things like, not directly to its industry, but things like payments, insurance, and logistics are affecting its exports, which is why it's been dragging its feet on this. But now, after those talks suggesting that it will extend the deal for half of what it is set to do, it's supposed to be extended under the agreement for 120 days. It's now saying it'll agree to do so for 60. The reaction from here is that this is...
I think what they want is they're timing this with the counteroffensive, and they want this to be a bargaining chip, right? If they're on the losing end of this counteroffensive. Powerful move to being rich, and the rich are multinational. Why care about your country? Yeah, invest in big. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Something that means
those, we used to call those people globalists, right? The goddamn globalists having sex with frogs. He kind of ruined the term globalists.
that the deal may need to be renegotiated because Russia is not adhering to its part. Now, this is a lot of back and forth posturing politically, but I think it looks like, certainly at the moment, if you speak to analysts, that it looks like this deal will be extended. The deadline is on Saturday, March 18th. It's a deal that is vital to when it comes to calming global food prices in particular, which is why it was really pushed to be, implemented. Ukraine is one of the world's biggest supplier of wheat, 49% of sunflower oil, wheat.
That's fucking crazy. I really had no idea. I had been eating Ukrainian exports my whole life. I had no idea.
And grains going global, really also supplying things like the World Food Program, which then filters that through to places like Yemen and Somalia and South Sudan. So it gives you an indication of just how global the reach of this deal is. When it was implemented last year, the exports almost fell to pre-war level. So it does give you an indication of just how successful it has been. Of course, it does give Russia leverage over Ukraine, and actually we heard from the Ukrainian President Zelensky in his nightly addresses yesterday, actually specifically talking about it, and also about farmers. A lot of the fields here remain heavily mined in areas that Russia did occupy and then withdrew from. So this is also something that's being looked at to try and step up those demining efforts when it comes to the farming season now is sowing season when it comes to next year's crop. So all of that wrapped in, it does look like the deal will be extended on Saturday. It may just be for 60 days, but it looks like it will happen.
Al Jazeera's Stephanie Decker live.
And to me, that really does tell me that Putin he's not going to drop a nuke. He's not going to drop a nuke. There's just certain status quos that he understands that there's no winning scenario for dropping a nuke. You know, as much as the psychopaths that he has hired to be propagandists, you know, are repeating this idea. It's a no-win scenario, dropping a nuke. I'm just not worried about it. A glimpse into the mind of Russian people. This one's from Kim. We've seen a lot of this, and I'd like to point out that it does not represent all of Russia. Just like when we see, you know, Israeli people shitting on Palestinians, it doesn't represent all of Palestine. This is driving me crazy. A little bit. There we go. So just wanted to put that caveat in there. You know, this person does not literally represent all of Russia, but it does give you an idea of how effective some of this propaganda is. Like, these people have internalized this new existential fight against Nazism that was literally, you know, contrived and conceived just a few months ago. I know I'm late, but I found someone using another name, Ron DeFascist. Not bad. A little too on the nose. It's a little too liberal. Gotcha. Meatball Ron. I mean, Meatball Ron. I mean, Meatball Ron. You know? It does represent 80% of Russians I used to know. I mean, you can't. Okay, that's you know, that's your own personal experience, and that's 100% true. But you can't use your personal experience as a blanket for all of Russia, right? And we also have the fact that Russian people are not allowed to tell us what they feel. They're not allowed to express themselves openly in public, right? So if I was a Russian, you know, and someone handed me a piece of paper that says, do you disagree with Putin? I would absolutely think twice about checking a box or putting my name on a piece of paper or showing my face on a video camera and saying I disagree, you know, with what's happening here, right? I would be intimidated living in Russia doing that. I could only imagine a loudmouth like me being intimidated. I can only imagine what a regular, you know, like, I don't really want any trouble kind of person would how they would handle that situation. So with all that said, let's hear what some of these Russian people have to say.
Если бы не ввели туда войска, ты прекрасно знаешь, это вся война была бы у нас здесь уже в России.
Как вы себе представляете нападение безъядерной Украины на ядерную Россию? Объясните мне.
Да ты смеешься, что ли?
Ну, расскажите мне.
Я тебе сейчас скажу. Войска, НАТО.
Что такое НАТО? Вы даже не знаете, что такое НАТО.
А ты знаешь вообще, что такое вообще Россия? Ты знаешь, что это такое?
Страна.
Столько крови пролито за Россию, и ты позоришь, ты просто позоришь Россию. То, что тем даже, что ты живешь.
Here we go. Yep, gotta attack.
Ты бессовестная, понимаешь ты?
Gotta attack. I'm being
У тебя
cornered.
нет понятия, что такое
No
Родина.
conscience.
Украине слава, навали в Украину. Там мы будешь зэкать будешь ходить.
They don't.
Если бы
So I mean, this is the classic refrain. She's being challenged on her propagandic views. Is that a word? That probably isn't a word. She's being challenged on her views that were installed by propaganda, and you know, it immediately you have no conscience. You're evil. You're a Nazi. You go ahead, go to Ukraine, give the Nazi salute. You know, just the classic stuff. I mean, and you see this in America. You see this in Canada. What is this? This is nationalism. It is simple as that. This is nationalism. This isn't wholly unique to Russia, right? It has its own unique flavor. It has that, it's flavored like Russian Soviet style, right? But it's the same shit. It's the same ignorant. It's the same bullshit, right? Just somewhere in the back of her head, she knows she's repeating a lie, but she's in too deep, and she might also be a true believer. In my experience, though, there are very few true believers. Most people just want to be on the winning side. They've been convinced that whatever side they're defending is the right one through whatever means. and they're going to defend that because that's the win side. That's the side that I'm going to win on. That's my own personal opinion, though. Yo, coolest tattoo on a TV journalist ever, dog. Dramatic footage shows Kiwi soldier in Ukraine rescued friend from Russian bunker. This is Australian news. And bro, can we get more of this, please? This shit is badass.
Has posted dramatic footage of a former comrade's rescue from an underground bunker.
The man's cry of New Zealand when he recognised the Kiwi appears to have saved his life. Adam Hollingworth has the story.
The fighters' nerves were jangling when they moved in to clear out this bunker.
Give me your hands. Show me your hands. Show me your hands.
The terrified man claimed he was Ukrainian. Kiwi Kane Tatai says he stopped his team from tossing in a grenade, but they were still skeptical and feared a trap until...
Oh, New Zealand! Oh, New Zealand! My brother! New Zealand! I know him. He was in the red house. Oh, God! It's you! Good guy.
A friend. Tatai thought the Russians killed him when they invaded his house. He was barely recognizable.
Wow.
In a Facebook post, Tatai says the Russians starved the man for 2 months and forced him to drink antifreeze for entertainment. There's no way we can verify that claim independently.
Ugly hole. Good job, Russia. I need to wake up at 4:30 anyway, so thanks for the wake-up call.
Former NZDF soldier Tatai sold his possessions to go to the front line straight up.
Bro, big props to these motherfuckers who do this, dude. I was tempted to do this myself.
Former NZDF soldier Tatai sold his possessions.
Big fucking props, all right? Don't be shitting on these guys, calling them war tourists. Sure, maybe some of them are, okay? But a lot of these guys were inspired by the desire for Ukrainian freedom. Sure, a lot of these guys are looking for some action. They're looking for some heat. But at the end of the day, if they stick their neck out, regardless of their motivations, if they stick their neck out and they really, do what they can to help, and they don't just, peek their head in and then leave and then, do a bunch of YouTube content, Dylan, right? But if they stick it out and they really contribute and they do what they can, I don't care what their motivations are, right? I mean, this is life or death, right? Sometimes you got to be a little stupid to be a hero.
To go to the front line straight after the Russian invasion a year ago, telling the Hui in August he was protecting civilians.
Every time a child dies, every time is like the first time.
The Maori call sign Turtle found a connection with Ukrainians who grew up as part of the Soviet Union.
Their warrior spirit, they're much like someone who grew up that didn't want to be Maori and are now trying to rediscover it.
Just 2 Kiwis are registered as being in Ukraine. Foreign Affairs insists New Zealanders should not go there as there's a real risk to life.
I have my body armour and my helmet, and I have a weapon, by my bedside. Let's go, f*** it! Goodbye!
Tatai films events on the front line like this extraction of a wounded fighter over what he calls extremely hostile ground.
It's like fighting on a time warp.
A CNN reporter caught up with his team in Vuhledar last month as he prepared to bury another fallen comrade.
Ever since Iraq and Afghanistan, we weren't losing dudes so fast all the time.
New Zealand! New Zealand! Amazing story.
New Zealand! I know him.
This reunion, though, was a victory of sorts. Tatai posted, "It was the best thing to happen to me in this godforsaken war. To be able to save our friends is something that almost never happens, but I'm thankful and feel blessed that it was us that could pull him from that hellhole." Adam Hollingworth.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff and an absolute hero. Good for him. Good for him. All right, moving on. That's just a beautiful story. Longer video of the shot down Russian plane in Bakhmut. Some amazing footage. We get to see the person using the anti-air shoulder-mounted missile launcher, whatever the fuck it is. And we get to see the end result of what he shot down. And it's so wild to me just how quick everything is. He runs up there, takes his measurements, you know, fires it off, and he doesn't even, like, this guy doesn't even wait to see the explosion. He gets right the fuck out of that window, right? Picks it up. Here we go. Lines it up. And I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a person in another room firing one themselves, because you hear this explosion that's close to him, but that's not him launching it. Yeah, maybe that's another person in another room firing one off. Lets her go and gets the fuck out of Dodge. Good, right? Because the snipers and everything will just be targeting this entire building. And that's the end result. Took that fucker down, son. Oh, got the ejection and everything. Woo! Woo! Goddamn. Goddamn, dude. How expensive you think that aircraft was? Nice. Nice. Nice, dude. Brass fucking balls. Love it. This, you know, this is, you could tell this is not propaganda. This is not staged, dude. Look how quickly he gets out of that exposed. He removes himself from being exposed. Doesn't even look at the explosion, dude. Yep, peace out. See you later. This looks very similar to like a rocket launcher, $11 million. How much do you think this device cost? What? 300,000? 250? $300,000 for something like this? It's reusable. Kind of looks like the one from Metal Gear Solid. Ooh, boy. Let me shoot one. Let me just shoot it once. Cost me $50,000. Shoot it once. Moving on here. Ukrainian border guards in close combat with Russian forces, reportedly in Bakhmut. I believe this one is from Davey. Thank you again, Davey, for all your wonderful links. Thank you, Woke Patriot, and thank you, Kim. And thank you, everybody else in the Discord. If you want to join that Discord with me, it's !Discord in the chat. Boy, they love this song, huh? You waiting too long, homie. Whoa. Man, anything in that building is going to have a hard time breathing. Were they really in that building? They hit it with 3 missiles or rockets. Wonder what that was. Is that them shooting out or shooting in? Ooh, did I see someone move? Did I see some movement right there? They're more than 11, but they also haven't been made in like 25 years. So got to factor in some inflation. Look very closely to movement right here. No, that's just the smoke. Man, whatever the fuck was in that building is not in that building anymore. Yikes. Hey, you like that pacifier, big guy? Come here. You know, this commenter has a good point. Brave guy holding the camera at direct line of sight to the orcs being targeted and behind the exhaust of the RPG. Maybe that person's trying to claim like this is fake. I don't think it's fake, but I mean, I don't know. It could be. Don't worry, this is not an execution video, but this is fighters of the 225th Battalion of the, I think this one was from Kem. Was this one from you? Of the 127th Brigade in the Bakhmut direction repelled the assault of the Wagners and took a prisoner. He said that they were specifically given Ukraine uniforms so that they would look like our military. I mean, this is, thank you, Kem. So we have a translation here. I'll play it and then I'll read the translation. And
Где служил? Как попал?
We've already seen this. There was that really famous video, that tragic video of that Russian approaching a trench, and he runs into these two guys that are like, what's going on? What's the problem? Like there's confusion about what's going on because they're dressed in Ukrainian uniforms, but they're all like nonchalant with this Russian soldier. He panics. There's even a scene where he's like hold the gun, the other guy's gun by the barrel and pointing it away. He panics and just wastes them both. Just wastes them both in the fucking pit. And it was later discovered that they were Russians wearing Ukrainian uniforms. I believe that was the story that came out of that. I could be wrong. Here's the translation. Cameraman, what's your full name? POW, Vodom Igor Vladimirovich. Cameraman, where did you serve? POW, Wagner. Cameraman, how did you end up with Wagner? POW, due to trying to get out of prison, so a prisoner. Cameraman, where can you get a uniform like that? POW, there. Cameraman, why, bitch? POW, so that we look like Ukrainian soldiers. You realize that you're fucked, right? POW, yes. Yeah. Yeah. They're still showing them off even before the invasion, so it's likely they've continued upgrading their electronics. Are you talking about the Su-35? Well, this is a great shot. You know, it's almost a shame that war can't be, you know, just blowing up each other's vehicles, and it's like some video game, you know, like in Driver, where it's impossible to hit the civilians. It's a shame that this is not a war of machine versus machine. Because it would be nice. It would be nice, right? But here's an example of, you know, disabling a device that's, you know, this backhoe that's being used to dig a trench for the Russian side. He drops 2 grenades. The first grenade, the guy takes the opportunity to get the fuck out of there. And then the second grenade proves why that was a very smart move. This song, please no, make it stop. No one is shining right now. What are you're dealing in diamonds, you're shining? What are we talking? What is the song? Am I dancing to this? What is the song? Yeah. So real quick, I know I was distracting with the guy, but as you can see, he kind of falls out. I might have shown this last time, but it's really interesting footage. So yeah, he slips out, gets the hell out of the Dodge, and there it goes. That's the whole thing, all up in flames. Man, those nades that they drop, they don't look like much, do they? They don't look like much. But that is devastation. All right, almost done here. Video from the other side. So this is a one from Davey. Thank you, Davey. But this is what it looks like when you're on the other side of that Ukrainian, you know, drive to survive. Probably a random song the editor was listening to. Whoa, Jesus. Oh, I'm okay. Yeah. So video from the other side. Intense footage shows a group of Russian soldiers from the 155th Brigade pinned down by tank and artillery fire in one of the buildings in Vuhledar Dachas. It appears that the Ukrainian attack came very close with soldiers reporting a grenade thrown at them in the later part of the video. This is just crazy shit. They're in this building. They're being shot at with a tank. Are you still alive? The other, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's just a bizarre thing that this soldier does, and you can, it's one of those things where you're like, because you've come to terms with the fact that you could die at any second, you kind of become calm and contemplative, I guess. I wouldn't know, but I've never seen something as uniquely bizarre as this. Sorry, it's glitching out. thing. So they're taking up. They're doing the smart thing. They're not clumping up together. They're going into different spots on the building, and I guess they're waiting for orders. He's in someone's living room. He's in someone's. This is someone's couch. This is someone's house.
Киров, я Фима, у меня 300-й, тяжелый прилет был. Киров, я Фима.
Talking to his radio.
С какой стороны они идут?
We got one injured. We're under attack.
Со стороны Угледара.
Where are we getting attacked from?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Да.
He's smoking a cigarette. And look at this. Picks up some family photos in the house that he's just invaded. Checking out what a mother, a daughter. Pretty. Bizarre behavior. Totally bizarre behavior.
Что такое?
He's smoking a cigarette. Fuck it. I'm gonna die. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to die. If it hits me, it hits me. Davey was saying that, you know, Davey was saying that, you know, these explosions, they cause the oxygen to get sucked out of the room, so it makes it really difficult to breathe, and you know, it affects you even if you're not getting hit directly with it. But he's chill enough to smoke.
Глушануло.
He's chill enough to smoke. It's time to go. Yeah, you can hear him. Oh. I'm fucking stunned. I think that's what the guy in the corner said. Thank you for that follow. MyOGB. Mayag. Magabab. Two in a row. I think that's them responding. Yeah. I think it's time to go, boys. Are we done looking at family photos and smoking? How about we, you know, leave the position that we're being attacked at? We need to move. We need to move 5 minutes ago. Maybe there wasn't an opening.
Передвигайся.
Yeah, it's time to surrender. Got grenades and shit. What a mess! But they're lugging around shit like they're hoarders. You can't carry all this shit. Wow, dude. Man, how does a fellow Russian see that and think, yeah, let me sign up to that and defend my motherland? Holy shit. Just casually picks, oh, pretty, yeah, wow. Family photos in the house that he's invading. Weird. It kind of reminds me of, remember early on in the war, some Russians were hanging out in someone's house, and they were looking at, like, they were in the teenage daughter's room, and they like spray painted the guy's Instagram tag on the wall. Like, he was trying to get a date. Like, one of the Russian soldiers was trying to get a date with the female daughter of a Ukrainian citizen in the house that he had invaded. Did anyone remember that? He put up his little Instagram tag, spray painted it in the girl's room. They're clueless. They're utterly clueless. So here we go. Here's the footage we've all been seeing. Official footage released by the U.S. Air Force of the collision between a Russian Su-27 and an US MQ-9 over the Black Sea. The question that's on the tip of everyone's tongue is, is this going to lead to further escalation? I don't know, but I do think that we're going to see NATO boots on the ground if Bakhmut, if the attempt to turn Bakhmut into the loss that Russia needs it to be, right? This big PR. Oh, you give up Ukraine, you give up. It's on. You're never going to win. I think if that is effective after Ukraine leaves Bakhmut, I think if that's effective, we might see. Because Ukraine needs a big win. And maybe we'll see, NATO joining in the spring offensive, or maybe we won't see any of that. And, the neoliberal Joe Biden will just play it safe and just continue with business as usual with letting Ukrainians use, NATO and U.S. weapons and, Western weapons. I don't know. But here we go. This apparently, some are saying that, the plane was not attempting to hit the drone, but the plane was trying to spray it with fuel. Somehow I doubt they'll do it. Well, yeah, I guess we'll see. So weird. This is so desperate. What are you even trying to do? Like, they don't want to shoot it with a gun, right? They want to troll the drone. I mean, this just shows how scared Putin is of the U.S. military. Ooh, don't shoot it. Ooh, don't shoot it. Ooh, I'm scared. Don't shoot it. That'll look bad. But yeah, piss on it. Exactly, right? Just squirt some juice on it or something. That'll show him. That'll show Uncle Sam. So weird. I don't think so. NATO interests are much more interested in being prepared to defend South Korea or Taiwan. As much as I hate to say it, Ukraine is less of a priority. You might be right. You might be right. So the camera apparently before the whole thing glitches out, points to, some damage. The thing went down, and Russia is apparently rushing to recover the drone now. They're trying to recover the drone. Was that the second? Did it happen twice? Is this video happening twice? Yeah. Okay. So it's happening twice. So this is the first time. Fuel dump. Weird, dude. Weird. So that's the first time. Misses. You can see Poland going rogue, sending their soldiers without NATO support. I can see that. I can see that big time. Poland's ready to go. There's a lot of Polish people that are ready to join that fight. And the right-wing Polish government could see that as an opportunity, for their next election. It is a risk, though. It's a gamble, because if you do it, because it's the same thing in Belarus, right? It's like, yeah, well, if you're winning, I'd love to join if it's a guarantee win and it makes me look great, but I could get my ass kicked. I could get my ass kicked and make me look really bad. So there it is. Such pussies. Just shoot it down, you fucking pussies. No, we don't want to shoot. We're gonna pee on it. Ooh, that'll show you. It's not a real provocative. I'm not being provocative. What? Now you're gonna say we can't shoot fuel at you? Russians are weird, but you know what? This just reinforces my belief that Putin don't want that smoke. He don't want that fucking Uncle Sam heat. He ain't dropping no nuke. He ain't dropping no nuke. This is rough. Ukrainian T-64 POV tank received a enemy shell hit at 55 seconds, survived with moderate damage. So we actually get to see what it looks like. Obviously, this doesn't give you the idea, like this doesn't give you the feeling of what it's like inside that tank. Let me tell you, that would rock you to your fucking molars, man. That would make your inner child, be rattled. You know what I mean? No, interior graphics. I don't think Russia has the balls to use a nuke in any capacity in Ukraine. Just igniting, testing a nuke. They're constantly threatening nuclear war. They don't have the fucking cojones. They don't have the balls, because launching a nuke is the end of Moscow, is the end of Russia. Maybe, depending on like if Russia were to attack a U.S. position with a nuke, it's over. But what if Russia blows up a nuke in the ocean, right? Or what if Russia blows up a nuke in Ukraine, but it's in just an empty field, and they're just saying we're going to do it? No, not exactly. Not exactly. Not exactly. And I don't think Russia is interested in existing still. Putin at the end of the day, as stupid as he is, he's not stupid enough to be the guy that opened the floodgates for the Western NATO alliance to occupy Russia. Depending on the context, right? If Russia were to use a nuke and like on Kyiv, or just ignite a nuke in Ukraine, we might not see a nuke retaliation, but we would see NATO retaliation. But if a nuke were to blow up a U.S. base in Poland, a NATO base in Poland, that would be an invasion into Moscow. But anyway, here's what it looks like to get shot by a missile in a tank. I gotta talk about the visibility. How low is this visibility? Look at it. Just you get a shoebox. They're putzing along here. Putzing along. We're at 30 seconds. GoPro like hitting the ceiling. No, NATO wouldn't start a nuclear war just for Ukraine. Unfortunately, I don't think so. But boom, there he goes. They're hit. Doesn't really seem like much because there wasn't any penetration. Lucky. That's a hit. Time to skedaddle on out of there. I think they're...
Так, значит, так сьогодні по нам ёбнуло. Пулемет уебало.
Where did it hit?
Командирскую башенку разъебало.
It hit the gun? Oh, it hit the gun.
Геть патрони попалило, диви, їбать.
Fuck the gun up. Totally fuck the gun up.
Связи тоже, да, нема? Ну, такое.
And look at that. Yeah, some of the explosive armor. Look at that. Reactive explosive armor doing its job right there. Fucking so cool.
Трошки в ушах позвонило. Такой башни, да и все. А так вот.
Yeah, look at those panels. Ripped right the fuck up. Maybe it hit here, and it looks like all that shrapnel went through the gun.
Динамика спасла. Просто четко. Коробочка.
Thank you so much.
Ничего не пробили, пидорасы. Хай хуй сосуть. Кацапы ёбані.
Lucky. These boys are lucky.
Ну таке. Значит, Новый год встречать будем.
Wow. Wow, dude, that is so nuts. That is so fucking nuts. All right, and our last video of the day. There is a portion I'm not going to be able to show, even though the person who is being shot survived. This is absolutely insane footage. Spoiler alert: the Russians ended up retreating. Thank you, Davey, for this longer piece of film here. Film? What am I, from the 1940s? But here we have Ukraine. This is Ukrainian trench. The Russians are attempting to overtake it. We have Ukrainians right here, and right here. And as you can see, they receive fire. Now, I'm not 100% certain of this, but the rumor is that these guys they get injured. The commander is yelling to the Ukrainians to yield so that they can get to their wounded. And then immediately, we can't hear any of this. This is just according to, testimony on the ground. But apparently the commander is asking to, hey, give us a break so we can get our wounded and we'll get out of here. And then after saying that, he throws a grenade, trying to trick the Ukrainians to get closer, basically lying to them, and then throws a grenade, and then all hell breaks loose. So let's take a look. Let's watch this. And yeah, of course, we have to do an obnoxious song over the whole thing. It just wouldn't be combat footage without some really obnoxious song, right? It has to be really obnoxious. So here they are, they're approaching. Ukrainians right there. All right, bud. Almost done. I know, Woke Patriot. You're above it all. You're above it all because you have the answer to this conflict. Come on, Woke Patriot. Don't pretend like you're above this armchair strategizing. So here we have, okay, Russians. Boom, boom, boom. So they weren't shot. Oh, actually, no, they were injured. Probably shouldn't have shown that part. But so they're injured and they take cover right here. Ukrainians could have finished the job, but he probably made the right decision there, backing off. Oh, of course, yes. But you always like to interject with your little, Mr. Peace sign interjection. Like we live in such a simple world. Like it's a discussion between peace and war that we're having. Come on, it's not that simple, Woke Patriot. Wagner on the left trench, Ukraine on the north, south, and east. Yeah, they're all over here. So anyway, now we have two injured Russians right here. One injured, I think. And this guy made the smart move, actually, to approach. So he shoots up his own. This guy lives, okay? He lives, but he's panicked. He doesn't know what's going on. He shoots his own wounded comrade, and is all like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Oh shit, I'm so sorry. I was trained for 5 minutes before I was given this gun." So here they are exchanging, and you could actually see the bullets hitting right there. I don't think you have an insincere motivation. I just think you're too proud of this, of like pointing. I don't know, Woke Patriot. You're just always making sure that we know that you think war is bad, and we all know war is bad. But I also get what you're trying to say, which is true. Like, because the moment, maybe that wasn't the right word. But the moment you normalize, right, these discussions where it just, nuclear war, like it becomes too common. We can get to a point where it's unhealthy. I see where you're coming from, Woke Patriot. But also, I don't know, man. You're being annoying. You know it. Fair enough. Some people don't acknowledge that. Yeah. All war is bad regardless of the context, but sometimes war is necessary. Sometimes war is brought to you. Sometimes you have no choice. You either stand up and defend yourself, or you allow yourself to be subjugated by people that you're not interested in being subjugated by. It's not like Russia's going to come in and make Ukraine utopia. That's not what they're fighting against. But I know what you're talking about, Woke Patriot. I get you. Yeah, I agree. It is tough though, because it's like, where do you draw the line at, being a warmonger versus, strongly advocating for self-defense, Woke patriot, and there, see what I mean? You see what I mean? You totally just shit all over yourself, man. You're really gonna compare police violence to defending the invasion of your country from invaders? Those that just tomato to you, tomato. Yeah. Annoyingly in bold. Come on. Police violence is not the same as defending your country from invaders. It's not the fucking same. That is not a tomato situation. So as you can see, Russians bogged down, being shot at from three different positions, stuck in this trench. They already got one wounded. Apparently there was one dead. No, you don't, but you don't, but then you pull out shit like what you pulled, right? Just to be annoying. It does need to be said though. Woke patriot. Sometimes it does need to be said. Woke patriot over here, stirring the pot. Khmer Rouge rolling down the street is the same as cherries and berries. You guys are funny. Buddy. The clip outlasted the song. You never see that. So then there's the Russians getting the hell out of Dodge. Looks like they still have, looks like the soldier that was fucking shot at by the Russians is still there, and I think this guy's KIA. No, he's still moving. Man, Russia, go home. This is, I mean, they just got completely overwhelmed. They thought they were Billy Badass approaching. They thought they were just the fucking Attila the Hun over here. Just Billy Badass is coming on in. And look at him. Look at him, man. Wow. Oh, good, bro. We got you. Wow. Okay, let's not zoom in on the dead Russian bodies anymore. Wow. All right, let's get one more combat footage, and then we'll call it a day. Let's get a tank blowing up or something. Reddit, combat footage, there we go. They all leave near the end. You can see one dead. I see. What a clusterfuck. You know, you're coming in strong, coming in like you're Billy Badass, and then you just get fucking just bogged down, smoked. You're shooting your own men. It just turns into a total clusterfuck. All right, Davey, thank you. Last video from your boy, Davey. Let's take a look. Gotta get at least one more in here. Ukrainian soldiers trying to shoot down Russian missiles with small arms fire.
Raketa!
Man. They are so low to the ground. It almost seems like you might be able to do that.
Raketa!
Man, they're trying. Fuck, they're close. They are so close to those. Oof. Those are nasty booms. Those are nasty ass booms. They're trying. They're trying. Israel just announced that they're finally letting Ukraine use some of that Iron Dome technology. But they won't be receiving that tech for months. They needed it months ago. So good job, Israel, on dragging its feet.
Huh?
Smoking cigarette. You're just smoking cigarettes in a hole in the ground, shooting at the fucking air. Man, what a weird existence. What a weird existence. All right, YouTube, that's my Ukraine update. As you can see, actually, you know what? Hold on. We didn't do a map update. Hold on. We got to do a map update from reporting from Ukraine. So let's get a map update from reporting from Ukraine. Looks like Dennis has one as well. Can't make it. Russia from Ukraine. Bakhmut holds. Russia mobilize again. All right, so let's see what happens. Be good today. I didn't ignore my female coworkers and I took a shower. All right, for you, that's a good job, Unsatiable. Congratulations.
Today there is a lot of news from the east.
I keep hearing that, oh my God, Sticks, that Russia is out of missiles, but are they?
Here, Wagner saw that Ukrainians rapidly exploited their regained access to the road and started fierce fights to establish direct fire control over the road.
Makes sense.
The footage revealed how Wagners used a dirty approach to fighting. It showed how after Wagners realized that their assault had failed, they shot their wounded soldier and asked Ukrainians for a ceasefire to collect the killed troops.
Yeah.
Once Ukrainians agreed and started collecting their own dead soldiers, Wagners threw a grenade at them and ran away without picking up their dead.
Yeah, and that's what we just saw.
Last time I told you that the increased focus of Wagner forces on the western flank and attempts to enlarge the buffer zone for mitigating the risk of a Ukrainian counteroffensive led to the alleviated pressure from the Khromova highway, which also allowed the Ukrainians to start using it once again. I also told you that the Wagner forces' tempo of advances west of Bakhmut has slowed down due to heavy fire and the necessity to attack uphill. The freshest
but they took the high ground over there.
Report suggests that the tide is changing once again, and Wagner forces started to increase the number of assaults on Bakhmut. Russians still managed to achieve incremental progress and establish control over the small village of Zalesnyanske, but their main focus undoubtedly became the encirclement.
Yeah, of course.
As you remember, around a week ago, Ukrainian forces took advantage of the decreased activity around the Khromova road and pushed Wagner troops from an extensive trench network in front of the highway. Recent footage provided by the Ukrainian 92nd Brigade shows Wagner forces conducting an intense but unsuccessful assault on the Ukrainian position. The video also features how Wagners killed their own wounded troops to avoid slowing down.
No.
A Ukrainian commander of the unit
that's inaccurate. He was not doing that to avoid slowing. That was a mistake. He was shitting his pants, turning the corner of a fucking trench line, and he thought he saw Ukrainian troops. Accidentally stumbled across Wagner Trench. Yeah, I think I know what clip you're talking about, and I'm gonna have to show it because it is fucking crazy.
The ground also said that after that Wagners asked for a ceasefire to collect the killed soldiers and promised that they would retreat. Ukrainian commander said that they granted them the opportunity to retreat, but Wagners violated the promised ceasefire and threw a grenade. Other sources said that Wagners were more successful at advancing towards Khromova village than Khromova highway. Here, the assaults were reportedly conducted directly on the village, so the area between the trenches and the village is largely in the grey zone. In any case, due to the surge in engagements in this region, the highway has been rendered unsafe once again, which has visibly started affecting the level of supplies to Bakhmut. Certain elements of Ukrainian forces have expressed the lack of necessary ammunition and said that sometimes they could not engage with the enemy due to the necessary heavy rationing of ammunition by their commanders. This caused some confusion because Wagner forces simultaneously released a video showing the devastation on their position and said that Ukrainians had plenty of ammunition. However, they showed destruction from artillery shells, and the artillery is obviously located outside Bakhmut and does not suffer from increased fire control over the Khromova highway. Shortages of regular ammunition have already forced Ukrainians to withdraw from the most challenging positions, such as the southern part of the town. Here, Ukrainians had been maintaining positions deep inside the salient, causing huge inconveniences to Russians. However, with the difficulties of keeping up the necessary intensity of fights, they have stepped back and shortened the front line. Shortened front line helps to improve the situation in the short term, especially as Wagner switched focus back to Bakhmut. Military analysts are offering several possible explanations as to why Wagner forces decreased the intensity of fights on the flanks and increased around the city. The optimistic version is that Wagner forces realized that their obsession with securing the flanks came at the cost of their control over the road, which Ukrainians started exploiting very rapidly. The pessimistic version is that Wagner infantry expanded westward faster than weather conditions were becoming suitable for the Ukrainian mechanized assault, so they created the buffer zone that they needed and went back to the encirclement. Overall, it looks like the control over the situation once again shifts from Ukrainians to Wagner's. The prevention of the encirclement attempts by threatening Wagner's flanks was a temporary measure, and now the Ukrainian command needs to take the next decision. The most widely discussed options on the table are counteroffensive or withdrawal. However,
Sure.
based on what we have seen so far, the Ukrainian command is coming up with non-obvious tactics that allow for a gradual, not immediate withdrawal. Right now we are at the 4th out of 5 stages of ideal gradual withdrawal. It is possible that Ukrainians will come up with another plan to undermine Wagner's main goal, force them to temporarily change their main objective, and drag the battle for Bakhmut into April, closer to the dates of promised counteroffensive. It is also possible that not everything will go according to the plan, Ukrainians will not find a way to regain control over the situation, and will be forced to withdraw immediately.
Yeah.
If you're against
Okay.
the invasion of Ukraine and
They're
you
cutting
want
it too close for me. I'm not a military guy. I'm not a military expert by any means. It just seems they're cutting it way too fucking close for me. You know? Way too fucking close. This is nuts. This is totally nuts. Okay, these Ukrainian soldiers are approaching what they think is an empty trench. Of course, they're being very cautious, and here's what happens. This guy, you know what I mean? Probably the scariest moment of this guy's entire life. So we got enemies right here, you know, popping up and opening fire. This guy starts, you know, he wants to get out of their range, but his partner is, you know, he doesn't want to run in front of his partner's gun, and his partner is also holding back so he doesn't end up shooting this guy. Just amazing. Ay, 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 ay. And let me tell you, this is a real threat. You're gonna see a bullet impact on the ground inches away from this guy's head. Right there. Right there, dude. Right fucking there, man. Look at that shit. One more time. So he fucking hits the deck and he's reloading his mag. I can't even see him. Where the fuck are they, dude? Holy shit. Holy shit, dude. I'm getting PTSD just watching this. So yeah, obviously they get the fuck out of there. They retreat. Almost done, buddy. No, you don't. Fighting with swords is dude. Imagine the GoPro footage we'd seen if people were fighting with swords. It totally is Woke Patriot, yeah. But that's not intentional, but that's just how it ends up looking. Man, I can't even see what he's shooting at. Bro, I'd be crying. I'd be oh my god, dude. Hey, see what the fuck's going on? Right. Gotta replace that mag. Right? Well, oh my god, sticks. Making me move my mouse to change view. Crouch, crouch, crouch. Yeah, this would be... The problem is you couldn't do a map like this because it'd be too annoying to fight in this, but it would be hyper realistic. Like if you're trying to move around and, you know, you have to like duck under trees and, you know, I mean, look at this guy. He can't move fast. He's stuck. He's stuck in the fucking bramble. And he's got his partner. He's got this line of fire coming here. He's got this line of fire coming here. He's got trees and shit in his way. Right? Holy shit. And then that bullet impact. That bullet just nuts, dude. One more time. One more time. Hits the deck. Too fucking close. Too fucking close, dude. Too fucking close. Too fucking close. Woo, that's too close. All right, so here we go. Catastrophic tank explosion. Gotta love it. Nothing explodes quite like a Russian tank. Woo! Holy nuts! Holy shit! Holy shit! There's still a pilot in there? Someone's still driving this thing? No, he's got to be dead. He's got to be dead on the gas pedal. Yeah, no, there ain't no one alive in that fucking tank. Whoa, dude. The pilot's just slumped over on that fucking thing. Whoa, dude. Whoa. I mean, it's always been like you hear these stories of people that have to clean these tanks out, you know, that they're recovering them, and they're like, oh yeah, there's just human paste on the inside. There's not even, can't even, you know, there's just bones and meat. Man. It's just, I can't believe Putin would put his people through this. Why, man? Why, man? Why? Why? All right, there you go, YouTube. That's my Ukraine update. Thank you so much.